So for me, I mean, the notion of priesthood, I mean, it always kind of existed in my family that growing up, they said, look, God's calling you to a vocation to be married or to be priest. You have to be open to the will of God. But I always had a plan for myself that I wanted to get married. It was my idea early set on that this was kind of my idea, my project for my life. So I can't really remember any notions maybe as a kid or as a young child, maybe wanting to be a priest. Maybe I had an appreciation for the saints. I remember maybe in second grade hearing about St. Francis and thinking, oh, it'd be nice to be a saint, to be holy like this. But I mean, growing up, I don't think I ever really felt the call at a young age. What happened for me, I mean, much like Bartek, I went to the World Youth Day in Madrid, in Brazil, and then the one recently in Poland. Well, not so recent anymore, but and in these World Youth Days, I went to certain vocational callings where they'd invite a young man to stand up to come to the stage to receive a blessing. He felt the call for priesthood. He would the leader would ask everybody to be quiet in this moment of silence if he felt this calling. And when I went to it in Madrid, I didn't feel the calling, so I stayed seated down. When I went to it in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, didn't feel the calling, so I stayed down. And so, I mean, my idea was when I was going to World Youth Day in Poland, I was like, okay, God, 3 strikes, you're out. Then I'll take it as a sign that it's, I'm called to be married as a Christian family, But I didn't know that when I was at this vocational calling, I had my idea, my plan for my life, and I felt that the Lord was calling me. I can't describe it other than, I knew for sure in those other times in Madrid and in Brazil, like, there was just a silence. I didn't feel any call. But there was something, I can only describe it without, don't want to sound crazy, but really like a voice in my head, a calling.
Yes.
The Lord said, I'm calling you to this. So then in confirmation I said, are you calling me to marriage? And it was no. Then he said yes to the priesthood and no to the married life. And in that moment, I didn't stand up. I stayed seated down, and I held this within myself for a couple of days. But then I was near my parents and my siblings, and I spoke to them about it, which helped me. That I could also be able to speak to some other adults who'd help me in my faith formation, growing up. And what struck me is that whenever I spoke to them, they never, said, "Oh, you have to go stand up the next time," or they never demanded it. They said, "If you feel the calling, you're free. Try to follow the Lord." That the one thing that always struck me is that this phrase that the people who formed me in my faith were always saying, "The Lord never wants to cheat you. God never wants to trick you into doing something. Whatever He calls you to do is because He knows that it'll make you happy." And so this really gave me the freedom to say, if I feel this calling, He leaves me completely free. That He wants me to choose what He calls me to do, but I'm free to choose in the end. That this is what a gentleman does. That he leaves you completely free. That he gives you invites you to a party. He says, but you can come if you want. You're not forced to come. And so this is what really inspired me to be able to stand up and to say, I consider myself for the priesthood.